الليل يا ليلى يعاتبني الليل يا ليلى يعاتبني.
Lebanon is in the Middle East between the Mediterranean Sea, Israel, and Syria. The country's coordinates are 33.5 degrees north and 35.5 degrees east. Lebanon has an area of 10,400 square kilometers and 222 kilometers of prestigious coastline. The Middle Eastern country has a range of mountains with snow-covered peaks that run through its center. Lebanon also has a very fertile plateau called Bekaa and the Bekaa Plain. There are many little rivers that run through the land which help keep it fertile. Lebanon has a climate described as Mediterranean because they have mild to cool, wet winters with hot and dry summers. Some natural resources of Lebanon are limestone, iron ore, and salt. However, only about 16 to 17% of the land is arable due to the fact that approximately 1,200 square kilometers of the land is irrigated. The land we now call Lebanon has been home to many different people throughout time. Its earliest traces of human life were recorded about 180,000 years ago during the Stone Age. The Neanderthals used the country's tiny rivers as natural highways for transportation. About 80,000 years ago, the Neanderthals died off when the Homo sapiens took over. These people lived along the Lebanese coast, were often called Canaanites, and were sometimes referred to as Phoenicians. In 1920, under the rule of France, Greater Lebanon was established. It was later renamed the Republic of Lebanon. A constitution was then drafted with much French influence. It was approved in 1926 and Lebanon was established as an independent country. During the 70s, a civil war broke out between Christians and Muslims. Syria had to step in to help the tattered country end it. In doing this, Syria began to put an iron fist on Lebanon. Even after the war, Syria left thousands of troops in Lebanon. Over the past decade or so, there have been many uprisings against Syrian influence in the Lebanese government.
For the Middle East, Lebanon has a very liberal culture. Women are not required to cover up and are not segregated from their men counterparts. This is mainly because only 59.7% of citizens are Muslim, and the rest of the population is Christian. While Arabic is the official language of Lebanon, French and English are a common spoken language. 90% of the people live in urban locations, and the other 10% in rural areas. Because there has not been a Lebanese census since 1932, not much is known about the demographics of the population, but what is known is the hospitality and traditions of the people. The Lebanese hold honor as their most cherished possession, and it is considered honorable to have a guest in your home. So therefore, the Lebanese are typically nice to outsiders and will usually invite a guest into their home for a meal or a place to stay the night if needed. The official currency of Lebanon is the pound, which can be divided into 100 piastres, similar to the U.S.'s penny. While Lebanon's relations with every country except Israel are relatively strong, its main trading partners are Saudi Arabia, Syria, Kuwait, and Iraq. Traditionally, Lebanon has exported cement, chemicals, clothing, fruits and vegetables, machinery, metals, textiles, and tobacco to these countries. Although the country exports numerous goods, Lebanon's balance of trade is negative $5,364,000,000 as of 1994. In comparison to the U.S., Lebanon has a very low GDP at approximately $15 billion. While only 34.2% of the population is economically active, the unemployment rate is around 7.5%. Although not many people are unemployed, the government is $1,169,200,000 in debt and has been affected by the worldwide recession, just like all other countries around the world.
Lebanon is an independent republic. 50% of the House of Representative positions are held by Christians and the other half by Muslims. The president elected by the National Assembly for a 6-year term, but he or she may not run for consecutive terms. The current president, as of 2008, is Mitchell Suleiman. He appointed Prime Minister Najib Mikati and Deputy Prime Minister Samir Mokbil to be head of the government while he serves as chief of state. In Lebanon, a male can vote at the age of 21 no matter what. On the other hand, women can vote at the age of 21 also, but an elementary education is required. These voters must live in one of Lebanon's 6 governed districts. The 6 districts are Bekaa, Beirut, informally known as Beirut, Liban Nord, Liban Sud, Mount Liban, and Nabati. The legal system of Lebanon is a mixed system of French civil code and religious laws. covering marriage, divorce, and other family relations. Lebanon is a relatively liberal country in comparison to its surroundings. This is most likely due to the fact that there are a variety of religions in the country. Even though this causes some tension in the government, Lebanon is far away from being an Islamic theocracy.